All right, happy week 5, everybody. Going to get into our discussion post here. What vestiges of progressivism can we see politically, economically, and socially in our modern lives? Which of our present-day political processes, laws, institutions, attitudes have roots in this era? Why have they had such a staying power? So, I found it really interesting. Just for me, there's obviously a lot of stuff here to cover, but what really made me think that this is still a thing and it has deep roots is, first part of our reading about the progressives is that there was what knit progressives together was the feeling that the country was moving at a dangerous pace in a dangerous direction and required the efforts of everyday Americans to help put it back on track. And when I read that, I thought, that's the same now, no matter who's, say our president. If we have a, Republican president or a Democrat for president, it's the other side always thinks that the country's going in a wrong direction or at a dangerous pace, and change needs to be made. So that just kind of struck me like, wow, this is still alive and well and doing. We, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, you think the same thing, that it's not going the right direction. We need to change. So I thought that was just kind of interesting for me, just right out of the gate reading it, thinking, wow, this is still really kind of here. So a lot of the progressivism thoughts, more of a direct democracy was one that I kind of jotted down. And this is basically to get more people more involved. And I think we still see that today, get out and vote, do this, do that. And I think back then too, getting everybody involved, and then with elections, and then when the women's rights to vote, I think that was huge, was getting that, making sure they had a say in what was going on, and getting them in different levels of offices and stuff like that. That was really interesting to me to kind of see that progress into where it is now. And then you have a lot of the activist stuff that we still see today. I mean, I don't need to really get into that, but we see all the different things. You have rallies, protests, down the line, and that's a form of progressivism. So. It was just interesting to kind of see all that. Sorry, I had some more notes here. So basically, like I touched on, the women's rights, your elections, and then having the electoral college was another one, for our voting, which, is a sign of the progressives. I don't have to say that word anymore. It's gonna be hard. But anyway, I just think it's big, and it's still, like I said, even the first lines of the reading show that this is still, in our country and going strong, and it's got deep roots. I think we're all follow that progressive line. So no matter what side of the aisle. So hope everybody enjoyed the post. I look forward to reading everybody's comments. Everybody have a good week, and we'll see you later. Thanks.